D&O in the building.
Good morning. What's up? What's going on?
How we doing?
Good, sir. How are you, boss?
I love it. I love it. Stephen A., I love when we prophetic. I love it. I love it when we can be Nostradamus and we can foretell of great things to come.
Yeah, I owe you guys. You were right. You were right. I was wrong. You guys were right.
Well, first of all, buddy, good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Shannon, I hope you had a wonderful weekend, big boy. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I mean, it was beautiful. Could you fix your tie just a little bit right there? Dan Orlovsky, the back of the tie sticking out, just even that out.
Oh, that's from the microphone.
I mean, just a little bit. I understand. I'm just trying to help you out, not insulting you. Molly, good to see you. Beautiful outfit, by the way. Let me tell y'all something right now. It's going to be a nice day today. You understand what I'm saying? And by the way, are you ready for this? I'm actually going to try to be nice. Now, I don't know if I'm going to pull that off. Shannon. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Hey, well, I'm gonna be like the guy in life. I ain't nice like boss.
Didn't see it coming. As you said, put everything into this and got punched in the mouth. Called a couple of weeks ago, humbling against Arizona. But this may be the most humbling game I've ever been a part of.
It's a punch in the gut, it's a kick in the ass, whatever phrase you want to put on it. But, you know, I think it's clearly, but you look at how this season's gone. You know, we've been knocked down. I mean, clearly, they beat us in all three phases. So, and, you know, I think we will clearly acknowledge it. And I'm not a burn the tape guy. I think that's a crock of shit. We're not going to do that. We're going to go through it.
All right, I say, what happened to the Cowboys?
Everything. I mean, that's the natural reaction. Listen, here's the bottom line, y'all. The Dallas Cowboys did not make one trip to the red zone. Not one trip. Over the course of 60 minutes, they couldn't find a way to the red zone. In 60 minutes, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, it was so bad over that 60-minute period, we were watching 60 minutes before the game ended. That's how bad it was. You understand what I'm saying? I watched Rich Paul. You know, they did a feature on Rich Paul, LeBron James agent on 60 Minutes. I watched that before the game was over. Why, you might ask? Because those brothers was down 42-10 with 13 minutes left in the game. I mean, just a romp. Just an embarrassment. I'm just looking at certain stats here in terms of first downs and things of that nature. First downs, 49ers 25, Cowboys 8. Time of possession, 37-23. It is an absolute, utter embarrassment what happened to the Dallas Cowboys. But I'm here to tell you right now, it ain't just about Dak. First of all, Dan Quinn, he was Kyle Shanahan's boss in Atlanta. Am I right? Am I right about that? That Super Bowl that they blew a 28-3 lead and ended up losing the damn Super Bowl to Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. Dan Quinn was the head coach. And your former pupil, you understand what I'm saying? You were the boss. You got romped last night. The Dallas Cowboys defense looked soft. They got punked. They got beat up. They lost at both lines of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. And I felt bad for CeeDee Lamb. I ain't gonna lie to you. There were several times he was open and Dak Prescott missed him. Now, I don't know if it's Dak Prescott, it's a combination Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, but he was missed. At the end of the day, your defense couldn't deal with San Francisco McCarthy. McCaffrey, 15-0 as a starter in San Francisco. 15-0. Brock Purdy, 10-0 as a starter at quarterback. I mean, this is just pure domination that we're talking about here. I didn't see that coming. I saw the loss. I saw the interceptions. I saw all of that coming. But I didn't see this. And I'm not going to talk any further because to take it away from you and Shannon dissecting this and break it down would be a dereliction of duty to the public at large. I'm going to let them have y'all break it down with your expertise. But I know what I saw. And it wasn't pretty. I'll tell you that much.
Molly, if you don't mind,
sir.
can you re-ask me the question?
Yes, go ahead.
Sure.
Ask it.
Jeez, give me a sec.
Yes.
Shannon, what happened to the Cowboys?
What I told you would happen. I said, what happens when the Cowboy offense doesn't get scooping scores or pick sixes? Or the special teams can set that offense up on a short field and they only have to drive 30 yards. And Dak Prescott is forced to play every down, every possession, every throw, and it matters. What would happen? What you saw would happen. All I heard, we've got a historic defense. We have the ability to be the Ravens. We have the ability to be this and this and this. Normally what happens, when teams that have the historic defense, they don't tell you about it in the season. We talk about it after it's done. Let the media, let the people that do this for a living tell you how great you are after you've done something. Now, I want you to tell me what you've done. You see how easy it is to play quarterback, Dan Orlovsky, when you're up 40-0, when you're up 38-3, when you're up 27-0. You see how easy it is to play defense? I told you, turnovers are in Dak DNA. Jerry Jones tried to tell us for the last several years, turning the football over isn't what Dak is about. It is absolutely what it is about. And you know what? To take a steal a line from the Maury Povich, you are that interceptions father. You turn the ball over because
Wow, Shannon. Wow.
You turn the ball over because you're forced to play every possession. You can't just put the ball in Tony Pollard's belly. You can't just rely on Michael Parsons to get strip sacked. Now, all I heard last week, and they was playing it up in the media, this will be the first time in 630 days since they drafted Tyler Smith, #1, that offensive line will be intact. And they got whipped.
Wow.
They got whipped. That defense, that historic defense that everybody's been yapping about, got ran through like Sherman went through Georgia. The Cowboys are who we thought they were, and the Niners didn't let them off the hook. See, Stephen A., what you said that Dan Quinn was Kyle Shanahan's boss. He also was the defensive coordinator during that 28-3 lead that they had. So we shouldn't be surprised by this. And I told you, I don't know what they were thinking last night. There's no way I would have lined Michael Parsons up at left defensive end because Trent Williams is going to neutralize him. I'm going to put him on the right side and let him go time after time on the right tackle. I'm not dealing with Trent. He's a 10-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time first-team All-Pro. You know where he's going when his career is done? He's coming to join me in Canton. So leave him alone. Did anybody touch Brock Purdy's hand except the coin toss at the start of the game? Did anybody touch him, Dan Orlovsky? Because I didn't see it. What happened is what I thought would happen if they didn't get pick sixes, scooping scores, and the special team couldn't put them on a short field.
It's the worst performance of Dak Prescott's tenure as a Dallas Cowboy.
Agreed.
And I disagree with Stephen A. and Shannon that this was a line of scrimmage game. It wasn't. This was a quarterback game and a play caller game. And San Francisco has got the distinct advantage in both situations. Offensively, the Cowboys, it showed to be archaic and antiquated. Standstill offense. The first pass of the game, I believe, is a drop back go route versus off coverage. It's a bad football play. The first third down of the game, they got into trips and ran triple slants. Mike McCarthy's been calling that play for 15 years in Green Bay. So the offense looked slow and timid and tired. Defensively, they looked unprepared. The first pass of the game, the 49ers motion, Brandon Ayuk's wide open. Like, you were unprepared for the motion. So it was a complete outclassing when it came to a football team being ready to play, a football team being prepared how to handle and then attack. And then when we talk about the quarterbacks, Dak Prescott looked timid. Dak Prescott made mistakes that he should not make. Dak Prescott threw interceptions that he should not attempt. And Brock Purdy was by far the better player on the field. Both lines of scrimmage, I thought San Francisco were fine. They did not dominate the line of scrimmage.
Dan, was it more on Dak or on the play calling?
I mean, it's always both, Molly. It is. It's always both. And I know we don't love that answer. It's always both. The play calling did not help Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott, he made one throw last night, the touchdown pass to Turpin. Other than that, there wasn't a single throw that you sat there and said, man, that's a nice ball. Brock Purdy had 6 of them. There's a stretch in the third quarter. You guys remember, it was 3rd and 3. It was an 11-point game. He throws a corner route to Debo, and they get called for a holding. It goes from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 14. He comes right back and throws the unreal in route to Debo Samuel for like 40 yards. Mm-hmm. Those 2 throws were better than all game what Dak Prescott showed.
Yeah, but you can't act like the line of scrimmage wasn't that bad. I mean, San Francisco, it was to me. San Francisco was able to run the football. The Dallas Cowboys were not. The Dallas Cowboys were not able to run the football. San Francisco was running the football. That's 170 yards on the ground. When you look at it from that perspective, I'm looking at them getting in Dak Prescott's face, making him uncomfortable. I didn't see that happen to Brock Purdy, just like Shannon pointed out. You barely touched him. Plus, San Francisco was able to run the football. The Dallas Cowboys were not. I don't understand how we sit up there and we say the line of scrimmage wasn't that big of a factor. I think it was.
I guarantee you. I don't know until the numbers come out. I guarantee you that the pass protection was better for Dallas than it was San Francisco. And I promise you, Brock Purdy was under pressure, duress, rush more than Dak Prescott was. Brock Purdy just made more plays.
Dak Prescott was pressured on 37% of his dropbacks, and even when he wasn't pressured, he was 9 of 17 for 77 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Hold on, wait a minute. A man lost his job last year because y'all say the play calling, and it wasn't Dak Prescott. You remember? Kellen Moore is calling plays for the Chargers because Jerry Jones blamed that loss in San Francisco on his head. You've lost Jason Garrett. How many coordinators have Dak Prescott had? And we swept them under the rug trying to prop Dak Prescott up. He's average to slightly above average. And an average quarterback can get you to the playoffs because their team is really talented. But it takes a little more than average to go past the divisional round, to get you to the NFC Championship game, to get you to a Super Bowl. Come on, bro. Hey, Dio, I like Dak also.
I'm with you.
Dak,
Yeah. You ain't.
When the rubber needs to meet the road, Dak goes off-roading. He's not on the road.
Well,
and we saw it again and again and again. So how many times does somebody need to hit you in your face before you realize they're for real?
Yeah.
First 3 seasons, they're 4th collectively offensively with Kellen Moore as their offensive coordinator. Now they're in the middle of the pack at 16th.
Yeah.
And you're talking about that, and look at this. 9 offensive touchdowns in 5 games for the Dallas Cowboys. 18 teams in the NFL are better right now. Now, to me, that's not just about Dak Prescott. That's also about Mike McCarthy, which is, I'm saying, to address Shannon's point. When we talk about, it ain't just about Jerry Jones. It was about Mike McCarthy needling Jerry Jones. I can do this. I can do this.
I can do
I
this.
can call plays.
Yes.
Let me give it to me. And remember, he departs from Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers basically said we were a bit archaic. We were a bit outdated. He sat up there, took a year off, talked about what he learned, and said, hey, I've come back a better man. I'm going to modify myself. I'm going to adapt. I'm going to be better. And this was his first chance. This has been his first chance to prove it, and he has fallen short in comparison to Kellen Moore. That cannot be ignored. I'm talking Mike McCarthy here.
Shannon, you know this as well as I do. Like, there's 2 ways to win offensively in the NFL. It's either execution or creativity. And I think the Cowboys, hopefully for them, learned last night. Like, they thought they could just line up and out-execute the 49ers against their defense. That is not going to be the case against good defenses. And Mike McCarthy does need to become more creative. I said I thought it was archaic and antiquated. It was predictable. I was sitting there going, here comes double slants, here comes triple slants. If I know that, San Francisco does. I think that the 2 biggest concerns walking away if you're Dallas is, 1, how much is doubt going to play a factor when they play in the big-time games now? Because the last 3 times this offense has played against San Francisco, it's been an absolute embarrassment. And the turnovers and the quarterback play has not been good. If they want to get to where they want to get to, they're likely going to have to face this team again. How much does doubt play? And when we talk about the quarterback and the play caller, if we're just having an honest conversation, you got to place them behind San Francisco right now. That's why I say, like, are they, and this is where I was wrong, are they legit Super Bowl contenders? Like, legit? Because after last night, you got to place them behind San Francisco. You got to place them behind Philadelphia. You got to place them behind Detroit. You got to place them behind Seattle. And you probably have to place them behind the Rams offensively. That's what, 5 or 6 teams offensively, when you talk to, like, the creativity and quarterback play, that you have to go, realistically, it's off of last night, you can't.
Yeah, Stephen A., I'm going to let you jump in here, Stephen A., but after what we saw last night, no person in their right mind, outside of those delusional Cowboy fans, can say this is a Super Bowl contending team. What happened is that you saw the difference in physicality. From the start, you saw Greenlaw. You saw Fred Warner. You saw them punish receivers. You saw them punish the running backs. Did you see Greenlaw lift Pollard up off his feet? Are you going to throw a flag? That's unnecessary. It's over. It's over. They sent the message.
I will say this. The only problem I have with what Shannon's just said is that he said anybody outside of a delusional Cowboy fan. The problem with that is that delusional Cowboy fans are like cockroaches. They're everywhere.
They never go away.
They're everywhere. Yeah, and so the problem with that is that, you know, there's too many of them.
Right.
There's too many of them.
They're just not in Dallas, Stephen A.
They're just not in Dallas. Oh, they ain't in Dallas today.
Nah.
So none of you think they're still Super Bowl contenders?
No.
I can't
No,
legitimately say, and that's what I missed on them, playing against bad competition, seeing how poorly the Giants are. That I can't.
So who is, and so who are the contenders then in the NFC?
Easily.
San Francisco and Philly.
You just watched them, Molly. Did
Yeah,
you not watch?
obviously San Francisco, but who else?
San Francisco.
What about the
Philly.
Eagles? Have you not watched the Eagles?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you watched Detroit?
Detroit's there.
Okay.
I don't know if they're. I don't know if Detroit's in that class, but they are in that.
I'm not
but
giving
it's
Detroit,
slim.
Shannon, I'm not giving Detroit that.
I'm saying it's slim.
I'm not
Talking
giving
two
Detroit
teams.
that yet
Yes.
because they're young. I know the talent is there, but
Yeah.
they're young. Okay, and they haven't been there is what I'm trying
That's
to say.
totally fair.
I'm going to say San Francisco and Philadelphia, and it stops there. I tell you this much, though. Detroit could beat Dallas.
Yeah, they're in front of Dallas. Yeah,
They're
I
gonna
agree.
play. I think the thing that Detroit has going for them is their offense. Aiden Hutchinson, I think, has got like defensive player of the year like ability, so that allows them to be in that. They're not in that conversation up top, no.
Let me ask you this. When you get beat down like this, Shannon, do you feel like they can bounce back psychologically? Like this
Yeah,
can kind of garner the troops and we can see an even better Cowboys team moving forward, or is the party over?
You know, Molly, the thing that I've been very fortunate is that when we were winning, we were very realistic in where we were. We weren't out there thumping our chest saying we got a historically great offense or we got a historically great this. Even when the Ravens in 2000, let's take it to the Ravens, they did not talk about how historically great they were because they were in it. Now, after the season, when you give up 10 points a game, you hold teams that play 16 games, you give up 165 total points, you give up 190 points over the entire season, including the playoffs, then people start saying, that was a historic defense. But when you're in your mind and you're trumpeting, oh, we're great, and somebody come put their foots in you like they did last night, yeah, it's a gut check.
Well,
it makes you reassess. Are we really that good, or we just been talking?
Let me tell you why the Dallas Cowboys cannot bounce back from this. They don't believe in their quarterback.
That's
that's
the doubt thing I kind of said before, right?
But do they believe in their coach also to piggyback on that?
If you don't believe in your quarterback, chances are you're not going to believe in a coach who's supposed to be an offensive mind and he's your offensive play caller. Now, if it's a coach that, you know, he's a former defensive coordinator, and you got a defense like the Baltimore Ravens had when Shannon was there and stuff like that, it's a different animal. But when you're reliant on your offense to do something, remember, the Dallas Cowboys, their bravado, it's totally about their defense. Those players believe in themselves defensively.
Yes.
When Michael Parsons is talking post-game yesterday, and he's talking about we're not that far off. What he's saying is, look, y'all, don't get it twisted. It was a bad day today, but the defense will rise again. The problem is they got question marks about their quarterback. If you remember, during the summertime, they're working out, training camp. You ain't supposed to touch the quarterback, Michael Parsons. He threw that rule out of the window. He was touching the quarterback. Why? He's like, look, man, we need you. Hell with all of this. We ain't going to be soft. We're going to go about our business of moving forward and doing what we need to do. We're going to handle our business, or you going to handle yours. The Dallas Cowboys team has a question mark about their coach and about their quarterback.